Hi, I'm Jenny from the Camping Nerd, and this is the Jasion Hunter Pro e-bike. First off, this is a full suspension e-bike. It has front shocks and then this crazy apparatus here that makes it so the back tire can move freely. This is also a fat tire bike, so this is going to be a bike more for dirt roads, trails, stuff like that. I'm just going to go over the basics. This is a class 3 e-bike, so that means that it can go 28 to 31 miles per hour top speed. It has 5 different pedal assist levels. There's a throttle. It has 7 gears and just your standard Shimano 7-speed shifter. Nothing really fancy there. This is also a folding e-bike, which is kind of unbelievable because it's an 82-pound bike. Just going to show you the folding mechanism really quick though. You break it open down here, and I gotta go on this side. Yeah. You can fold this e-bike to make it much more compact. Woo! This is working out well. Anyways, so this is the Jasion Hunter Pro folded up. As you can see, it gets quite small. Maybe if you come around here, I'll show you where the battery is. So the battery sits in this tube right here. So if you want to take it out, you unlock it with the key and then you can just pull it straight out. Talking about the battery, I just want to mention really fast that this is the one area where we've had issues with this bike. Everything else has been working perfectly, but we did have the first battery that came with this was bad. It basically meant that after about 60 miles, the screen just turned off on me and the motor and everything. And when we asked Jason about it, they said it was a battery voltage problem, so they sent us a new one, which so far has been doing well. I've killed it a few times and taken it around probably 50 miles, and it's still going strong, so once that battery issue is taken care of, we've been fine. And I'll just show you how you would unfold this bike. Start with the handles. All of the mechanisms to lock everything in place are very sturdy and very easy to use so far. It's just that this bike is super heavy, so it can be difficult to open and close. I personally think the folding feature is somewhat unnecessary for a bike of this size, but if you have storage problems, if you've got to put this away in the wintertime, I guess it can be nice to fold it up and tuck it in the corner of a garage or something like that. Or even, I guess it could fit in a closet too. So yeah, the Jasion folds, and it's also a full suspension. Those are the two cool things with this bike. The battery is supposed to be twice as big as your standard battery, but so far the range of this bike has not been as far as I had hoped it would be. I took it on a ride yesterday with just the throttle going 31 miles per hour on dirt and paved roads, and I only made it 16 miles. So I think for most adults, you're only going to get 10 to 15 miles going max speed on this, which is actually quite low for an e-bike. But the areas where it does shine is the power and the torque. The motor is pretty strong for this size of bike. It'll get you up any hill. You can connect to this bike with an app. Let me just turn it on. Show you that. So the power display is pretty standard, very simple. You've got your front light you can turn on by holding down the plus button. It has a walk mode. It has blinkers, which is kind of fun, but they're very small and somewhat not useful. Horn. You can go between your odometer. We've made it 128 miles so far. Your battery voltages, your average speeds, max speeds. And then there's an app which you can use to connect to the bike. You can see the battery's at 100%. Should be showing my odometer here pretty soon. You can turn the bike on and off with the app too, which is kind of interesting. In here, it looks like you can personalize the pedal assist speeds, but this is actually just for the throttle. So the throttle right now can just go from 0 to 31, but if I were to put a speed limiter on it, I could have it following these different speeds, but the pedal assist is all set in stone, and it seems to be like 15, 20, 25, 30, like around there. I think that this was set up with kilometers because the like number one speed is like 14 miles per hour, which is kind of an odd number, but I don't love that you can't customize the pedal assist levels because that's one of my favorite things to do on an e-bike. And like I said, the number one pedal assist level on this is like 14 miles an hour, which I think is a little high, but it is what it is. Another thing I wanted to talk about with this bike that I really appreciated a lot was this front brake caliper. I don't know if you can see, but it's on these like movable shock things. So when we got the bike, we had to put the front tire on. And usually what happens is you put the front tire on and then this brake will just like rub all the time. So you get like a noise when you're riding the bike. And it's a problem with many bikes. I've struggled with this with every bike I've ever owned. And with this, it was easy. These were just loose. And so what we did is we put the front tire on and then I had somebody hold the front brake in and then I just tightened these and then it was perfectly in place and it's been perfect ever since. I can even show you right now. No sound, I love it. Okay, so now I've gotten through the main features. Let's talk about riding experience. The seat on this e-bike is fantastic. This is the best e-bike seat I've gotten so far, actually. A lot of times they'll be big like this one and have shocks in them, but the way they're like put together is not great and they'll like move up and down like this. But this seat has been stable, it's been fantastic. It has just 20-inch tires, which are pretty small, and at first I was like, this bike is going to be so unstable on the road, especially going 31 miles an hour, but it has been fantastic. Like, I've taken this on mountain bike trails and on dirt roads, on paved roads, and I've been going like pretty fast, and so far I have never felt like I was going to fall off of it, which is not the same I can say for other e-bikes that I've tried. I've tried similar e-bikes to this one that are more lightweight and have thinner tires, and they've felt like not good going down the road, just like you're gonna fly off at any moment. But with this thing, it sits you up so high and the handlebars are like so tall that it just feels, I don't know, almost like a motorcycle in a way, which is what you want with one of these because they have a lot of power and they go really fast, so you want to be able to, you know, match that speed with stability, and the Jasion Hunter Pro really does a good job with that. To wrap it all up, the Jasion Hunter Pro is basically a souped up folding e-bike. There's been a lot of these out on the market for a long time that look similar to this, but they're just smaller, and this is just their answer to that with like a much larger bike. So the max load of this is 400 pounds, which is really a lot for an e-bike. And I would say that they've put a really powerful motor on this that can actually move that 400 pounds. And I really appreciate that about the Jasion. I'm not a huge fan of the low range. Like, I was expecting to get more than just 16 miles out of it when I was doing just the throttle max speed test. But I think that this could be a really good bike for people who maybe feel like they're unstable on other e-bikes. If you've been on e-bikes and you feel like they're too small for you, then this one will definitely probably feel like an upgrade, and it'll perform better, feel better. It's just that it'll have maybe a lower range than what you're used to. I've tested big bikes like this that have had ranges of like 30 miles, so I'm kind of surprised to see that it has such a small range. But like I said, the torque is so high on this, it can get you from 0 to 25 miles an hour in just seconds, and that is what this bike is about. I think it's a hill climber and just something that will move large amounts of weight pretty much. So with that in mind, if you're somebody who doesn't ride an e-bike more than 15 miles at a time anyways, I would recommend something like this, because it is just like being on a nice little motorcycle when you want to just, you know, take off and go for a chill ride, but then it's also, you can pedal and turn it into a real workout with the 82 pounds that you have to carry around. So overall, I recommend this to people who think that other e-bikes made me feel a little too small. But if you want really long range and something that will never need to be charged, this is not the e-bike for you. We're going to be having some friends test this e-bike out all summer, so let us know if there's anything more specific you'd like to know, any questions that you have about this brand and specifically the Hunter Pro. It comes in 3 different colors, and so far I really like this brown. It's quite nice. It's all dusty, but I mean, we've taken this all over the place, and it's really held up quite well. So yeah, just let us know if there's anything else you want to know about this bike. But so far, it works good. It's good. It's a good bike.